Greetings, greetings, greetings. TGIF, everyone. How are you? What's going on? What is happening? That's what I want to know. Are you all enjoying this weather? It has been changing for a lot of people. And a lot of people have been surprised by it. They're like, what? What am I gonna do with this? We don't get this. But that's life. There's a lot of strange things going on. Yes, it is. But I hope you had a great week. And I hope the weekend is starting off good for you. I sure do. For me, I had to take me a little nap today. I couldn't help myself. I was in Cyril Badia's, no, I was on Ani the Ghost. That's who I was on, his channel. And I was speaking to people, and someone said something, and I said, I think I need a nap. And it was at that time, it was 6 o'clock. I said, yeah, I'm going to get me a nap in. And I guess whatever I had a dream of, because I've been dreaming lately. I have not been in a little while that I can recall, but now it seems like I'm getting more dreams. And I was thinking about how YouTube works, the clicks and all of that stuff. And that was part of what, was talked on the streams. I guess, it just was in my subconscious. And I was thinking, I'm like, wow. I said, there's a whole lot be going on if it was, up to me as far as giving links to certain people and collabing with certain people. I couldn't do it because I treat it all the same as if you were in my face, just like on YouTube. So if act funny, that's what we call it. If you act funny, you have an attitude or whatever it is. I'm like, I wouldn't be bothered with you. I just could not do it. But what I was thinking, I said to myself, I said, wow, I said, I would not, I ain't never begged nobody. Then I said, thought about it. I said, oh, wait a minute. I did beg one guy, and it wasn't even for money as far as to keep it. It was for him to loan it to me. And when it got time to pay it back, he wanted to see me. But I left the money with my mom. I'm like, just go by the house. My mom right there. I'll let her know you're on the way, what day, time, whatever, and she'll have it for you. And he tried to delay that and delay it, but he started to realize that I was never going to be at the house to hand it to him. Oh well. But that tickled me. I said, I ain't never begged nobody. I sure ain't gonna beg them on YouTube to be my friend, collab with them and whatever. Then I said, oh, you know what? I did beg someone. So there's always once in life. I wasn't too proud to beg. I needed to borrow this money. And like I said, it was a loan. I had no intentions on trying to do anything for it, which we will be getting into that tonight. You know, it's part of the title, if you will. Hello, Gold Professor. Let me say your name because you mentioned it before. So let me say it 3 times. Hello, Gold Professor. Gold Professor. Gold Professor. Hey, you give me that. That's a donation. That's not a loan. No. Ha ha ha. But thank you so much for supporting the channel. I do thank you. And it is well appreciated. It don't take much to cost, to run the channel. And I get enough to cover that internet bill. And I am not too proud to say the internet and the StreamYard bill. And I thank you so much for that. So we're going to go ahead and have Sheed to go ahead and sing for you because that's what you have done. All right, starting it off. All right, everybody. So that's enough of my bantering. So let's bring on the lovely, the wonderful, the gorgeous, classic Ruby, everybody. Yeah.
Shar, when you were talking about owing money and stuff, right?
Uh oh.
I was thinking about, okay, for those of y'all who I don't know, live under a rock in a cave on Mars. Exposed the manosphere. It's been around for years now, and he's hanging up his exposed cape, shall we say? And a lot of us were there at this final stream. Some of us jumped on to show face. Some of us just jumped on for clout, even though they'd never watched the channel before and had nothing to say. It was embarrassing. Yeah,
Wow.
and I did actually embarrass someone over that. It once last week. I don't know, man. Y'all know how I am when I'm sick. Anyway, um, the
Right.
point is, a lot of us wanted to know whether or not Solo TV 84 is a man of his word or if he's a fraud. And so far as I have learned, now, hey, listen, I'm not calling you out your name. So I'm just saying, we all saw that you made a bet with that
Yep.
man.
Mm-hmm.
You chose the price. You said $1,000.
Yeah.
You were calling him a punk for not wanting to accept, the
Mhm.
bet because you knew he was going to beat you. But, at the end of the day, he accepted. You said by December 31st, if Trump was not in office, you were going to pay that man $1,000. And so far as I have seen it is January 21st, you are almost a solid month late. And so far as I've heard, you did not pay that man. Listen, whether you are an OG listening in the clouds, you're just, one of our peoples, because we all know you guys aren't like that and whatever. But listen, we need to start calling people out and holding them accountable for the money they owe. It's a bad look. You're an OG. It's a bad look. Just pay your debts. Or go publicly and admit you too broke to pay your debt, but that man was right and you were wrong. You apologize and set up a payment plan. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's
Yeah.
get 2022 off to like an honest or at least respectable start, because this is embarrassing. I'm just saying, don't run from your debts like a punk. It's not cute. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with these six-figure Negroes.
Right?
I don't get it. Get all the women, they got all the money, but you don't see nothing. You see nothing.
I'm just saying, dude, you so rich, $1,000 should be nothing. You should be able to just wipe your nose with that, right? So where's it at? That's all. Listen, he's not even Aaron's not even begging for it or whatever. I'm saying that I am
Hmm.
embarrassed for you, Solo, and you need to pay your debts. That's all I'm saying. A bet is a bet. You know how many embarrassing things I've done over a bet? I'm not gonna lie. How many embarrassing I have done because I made a bet, so sure I was gonna win, and then I lost, and then I ended up having to streak naked in the winter, very publicly once. But the point is, a bet is a bet is a bet. You took the
Right.
bet. If you lose, then that's what it is. Or it's like truth or dare. If you pick dare, you better go do your dare. You pick truth, you better tell the truth. It's just listen.
Yeah.
If you can't follow those basic rules of life, you're not successful in nothing. Let's be real. You're not successful at nothing. If nobody can trust you at your word, you're not successful. Come on, come on. Let's
Yeah.
all stop fronting this year. Then,
That's what
pay
I
your
said.
debt or admit you broke. That's it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
That's why I said I treat it all the same. It's
Yeah.
whether you're in my face or
Mm-hmm.
through the internet, it's going to get the same treatment. I don't, like, okay, well, this is different. So I'm going to act like this. I don't have that type of personality. I don't have all of that. Maybe if it's life or death, I'll find my
Mm-hmm.
way to be the greatest actress there is. But other than that, nope, nope, nope.
No, but see, that's what I actually think. Well, I think that this sector desperately needs it, but I think that it's actually a good trait to have in the every other sector. So if you don't mind breaking out of our very limited little space over here,
Hmm.
with people who make $1,000 bets and then run away. Um, it would actually be a good thing because a lot of people. That's the thing. A lot of people are coming online and they're just looking for something honest, something real, something with integrity, and like that's why you see some weird people getting followings. Like, no disrespect, but you ever see Eugenia Cooney?
I don't know. I may have.
So she is, and I'm not going to say the word, but it's the eating because it's a banned word, despite the fact that it's a real word.
Uh-huh.
Um, but she has the eating disorder where you don't eat and then get very, very, very thin, like
Oh,
scary
okay.
thin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's also very strange. Like she likes strange stuff. Like as far as the way she dresses, she's kind of like gothy and weird, and she kind of looks
Hmm.
like an eerie, creepy, haunted doll.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, a very skinny one. So, but here's the thing: she's very popular. People like to watch her. Nikocado avocado. Listen, if that's what you're
Hmm.
about in life, hey, people will watch you just so they can connect to somebody. That's a somebody. Like they don't even want you to be perfect. They want you to be flawed and weird and whatever. They want you to be real and ignorant. If you're an ignorant person, be ignorant. If you're I don't deal with that bullshit, don't deal with the bullshit. If you're the I just kick you off the panel as soon as you start that foolishness and move on like it never happened, do that. People will love it.
Yeah.
Trust me, they will love it because at least it's real because there's so much fakery in society these days, right?
Tell
I
me
mean,
about it. Tell me about it. Yeah, I
come
thought
on.
about shoot the past 2 weeks of a different direction for the channel. I said,
Hmm.
but I would end up leaving YouTube when I get through because they wouldn't
Hmm.
like the truth. And you know, it's not that I wouldn't give the truth anyway, but I'm very cautious about what I say. But just
Hmm.
imagine if we can actually get certain people that just have a question and they want the truth, and then we
Hmm.
give them the truth. Some of it may hurt, some may, like, I didn't realize. No one told me, and they go on off in their life and make some changes. I really thought about that. I'm like, hmm. But the volunteers, you gotta have the tough skin. I'm not gonna curse you out or
Hmm.
nothing, but if your teeth is a little yellow, I'll just mention may need to try some peroxide or something like that. But whatever it is, it will be to help improve. It wouldn't be to embarrass you. And if you
Hmm.
get embarrassed, that's just something that I can't control. Yeah.
Hmm. You know where would be maybe, and I was just hearing this the other day. I don't know about y'all because I ain't that young, even though I am. But apparently, a good place to start discussions like that, if you want to kind of put it out there that you answer questions or you're honest or whatever it is Clubhouse. So apparently, that's
Ah,
where people are going to do this stuff now. They're going to Clubhouse and they're starting, I guess, rooms or whatever you call it, and people
okay.
jump in and then you answer their questions and blah blah blah. So I think that people are starting to use that now, like they're hosting the questions and whatever, and then they cover specific calls that they had or specific people. They cover that on their panels, or they use it as advertising. Like, hey, if you want
Mm,
a more specific one that has to do with the picture of you, and I'll fully analyze it. Jump in on Friday, or you know what I mean. So
hmm.
maybe Clubhouse is something we gotta look at. It, I
Yeah.
made a Clubhouse account. I haven't done anything in it though, like at
Okay.
all. I've no I could not tell you. That's why it's like rooms, is it called? Or I don't even know how. I mean, they give me notifications, but then
Okay.
I don't click because I'm scared. I'm scared I'm gonna click on it and go in and they're gonna be like, "Who the hell are you? No one invited you." Yeah, I didn't talk in YouTube for like months because I was scared. If I
Right.
said something in the chat panel, people would be like, "Who the hell are you? Get the hell out of here! No one invited you to talk." I didn't realize what it really was, right? Like I thought everyone in the chat just knew each other, and
Yeah.
that's why y'all were allowed to talk, and I was allowed to read it, and that was it. I don't know, so I'm awkward socially, but we could try a Clubhouse thing, do a Clubhouse
Okay.
special one day. That might be cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
gotta evolve with the times.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's do a little Friday dance and then get started and see what happens with this yeah, this
All
lady.
right. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get my dance on.
Look at her. We gon' start this thing over. Groove all in the middle of the night. Come on, come on. Make you a baby, take a baby. Make you a baby, take a baby. Make you a baby, take a baby. Make you a baby. I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life. Ain't gon' break your phone with you. I'm living my best life. Ain't gon' break your phone with you. I'm living my best life. Ain't gon' break your phone with you.
Ooh, get it free. All right.
Mm-hmm. That was good. That was good. All was a good stretch, you know?
Yeah. All warmed up now.
Exactly.
All right. So here is the show. Let me get it set up. Volume. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Oakland, California.
You're in. Okay, can you wipe your screen a little bit?
Okay. You need light?
Yes, please.
There we go.
Okay. What's your name, baby?
I'm Shakira.
Shakira, where you calling from? California? What part?
Oakland.
Where?
Oakland.
Oakland, California. How old are you?
Where Too Short and Keisha call from? I'm 38.
38.
And I'm single.
And you're single.
With an 11-year-old. I have an 11-year-old son.
11-year-old son. What do you do for a living, Shakira?
I am an independent jewelry maker.
Independent jewelry maker?
Yes, and custom mask maker.
That's how you pay your bills?
No, not really.
How do you pay your bills?
I have some nice guy friends, but they're not trying to marry me.
So it's different male friends that pay your bills?
Yeah.
You have sex with those guys?
Not all of them.
How many different male friends pay your bills?
At least 3.
Okay. So you have 3 different guys that are paying for the home that you live in, and you want to meet a new guy to take you seriously?
Yeah, because I don't feel like they're going to be around forever.
Okay, that's true. They probably won't be around forever. But why in the hell would a man date you when you got 3 different men paying your bills?
They don't live there. They don't come to my house.
It's not about living there. There's 3 different men that are taking care of you. So if I am a guy that has anything to offer, if I'm a guy with a great job, good looking, treat you well, not just want to have sex with you, why would I want to be with a woman that can't take care of herself and 3 other men, not even men you have children with, because then that would be like maybe a child support, that would be explainable. Why would that guy sign up to date you?
Because I'm almost done with college and I'll be a lawyer and I'll have something to bring to the table. And I can let them go.
Okay. I mean, I want to be gender neutral when I'm on this show. And if you were a guy that was saying all this stuff to me, I would say the same exact thing I just said. There's no room for a decent man to be in your life.
But they don't have time for me.
Listen, you're right. You're right. But at the end of the day, these men until you get it together, you're blocking your blessing for a quality man. No quality man would date you knowing that there's 3 other guys paying your bills. Like, you can't even take care of
yourself. But what do I do until I'm done with college?
Girl, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what to tell you could do. I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, look, let me keep asking you some questions. So you're in college right now?
Yeah, my mom just passed away. It's only been 4 weeks. I was taking care of my mom for the past 6 years.
Okay, sorry to hear about your mother. So were you paying your bills ever at one point in time? Or is there...
Yeah.
Okay, so
I actually got diagnosed with grave disease in 2017, and I had 4 radiation treatments, and I got sick and ill, and that's when I became dependent on these guys. Before then, I actually worked at a hair salon for 5 years.
So basically you had a hardship, and then we said 3 men stepped up to help you.
Yes.
Were any of them ever men you were in relationships with?
No.
You were never in relationships with any of them.
And one of them, like, we've never been intimate at all. He's like really just always there for me, like vehicle wise. He always makes sure I have a vehicle.
Okay. That one's just a friend. And then you're being serious too, right? Are you joking me?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Okay. And two of the other guys.
One of the other guys, he's almost about 70 years old. He keeps telling me he's not going to be living a long time.
He's 70 years old now. You've been intimate with him.
Yes.
And then there's another guy.
Yes.
And how old is that man?
He's in between his 60s.
And that's another guy you're also intimate with.
Only about 3 times.
So what are you looking for tonight, Shakira? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for some advice on.
Nope.
I want to be with one person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm tired of being like dealing with 3 people just to get what's equivalent to 1 man.
No. Okay. So we got some things to clarify before we listen to her pretending she should be able to have standards. So okay. I'm just saying. Okay. So first thing. Okay. For anyone who doesn't know what Graves' disease is, it's when your thyroid is overactive. Okay. So it's the opposite of what most people talk about when they say they have a thyroid disorder. It actually makes you lose weight. It makes it hard for you to put on weight or keep weight on. It makes it hard for you to build muscle and maintain muscle. It makes it hard for you to regulate your body temperature. So it's a thing, right? But I mean, it isn't the kind of thing. When she said Graves' disease, a lot of people probably heard the word disease and thought like, oh my gosh, man, maybe she's dying. Like, no, it's not death. Like, my aunt has Graves' disease, for example, and she's always worked. So, that's the first thing. Mm-hmm. The second thing is she said that she worked. I want to this is the thing that really threw me off. So she said she used to work until she was diagnosed with Graves' disease, and had to take some time off, to get, some treatment to her thyroid, which was not recent. But she said her took care of her mom until her mom died 4 weeks ago. But there's a discrepancy there. I don't know if anyone else is hearing this, because if she stopped working years ago when she was diagnosed with Graves' disease, then how was she the one taking care of her mom between then and now? Like, I'm very confused about that, because she said she was doing it. She was taking care of her mom, but then also said that she hasn't worked or done anything except for basically be a prostitute / sugar baby in the last several years. Right?
Yeah, she said she had been taking care of her mom for 6 years. So that takes her back to about age 32. And she diagnosed with Graves' disease, had some chemotherapy, I think she said 4 times. But I'm not sure when that happened. That's what I'm confused with the timeline. But
True.
Before that, so now let's go before 32, she used to work in a hair salon.
Right. So she was a stylist, got died from what I'm hearing, because she said she did clarify her mom passed away. It's only been 4 weeks. And I feel like if something with the Graves' disease has happened in the last 3 weeks, she would have mentioned it. So it's clearly something she's been doing ongoing for a while now, right? So first of all, that just doesn't line up to me. That's my first problem. My second problem is she's mischaracterizing what she's doing, right? And this is why when people like me, for example, I was on a panel last night and I said I'm a serial monogamist. And some dude started laughing and said, yeah, all you women are hoes. And I'm like, wait, what?
Dang.
Yeah, but he wasn't saying it like to say I was lying.
about being a serial monogamist. It was his understanding of what a serial monogamist is.
Monogamous was. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Right. Because women say one thing, but their actions are still saying ho. And so my issue is I have friends who, always take care of me. No, no, honey, you have Johns, right? You have tricks. Like you are basically a prostitute. You are a sugar baby, right? You give out sexual favors and, your time and energy, whatever type of thing that they're looking for from you, and to compensate, they give you some money or they give you access to a car. They give you things that you need in return. That's
Hmm.
prostitution. So she's acting like, no, I'm just such a great person. And I just met these great guys who are just like, they're my friends. The word friend means platonic. And they just help me out, pay all my bills, make sure that I'm fed and clothed and bathed and taken care of. And I have a car and I have a this and I have a that, but they're just my friends. And I have three friends. They're just friends.
Yeah. You don't have that many friends. I will say you can get one
Mm-hmm.
per season that will do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen to a many of women. I don't know. You have to have some type of beauty, though. I'm going to say that. You got to have something. And they will just
Yes.
do things for you. So
Yep.
it does exist. Now, with her, I'm trying to figure out what year did it start? That's the question I may have in my mind. Probably would never get that answer. But when did this start? Did it start 6 years ago? Before that? I'm curious, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
save my questions for later. And welcome, Vonda. Welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Hey,
girl.
hey, Ruby. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
having me.
Anytime.
Okay, you know what? She's already starting out bad. I
Oh.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
just with the way that she's explaining things, I mean, for lack of, better words, she's basically saying, hey, I have this illness, and because I have this illness, I can't work. So I have these guys who are my friends, and they supplement my income. So they're anywhere between 60 and 70, and I don't have sex with all of them. And one guy, I only had sex with him 3 times. It's like, girl, it's like she's trying to downplay it. It is, it's basically prostitution. Like you said, Ruby, I agree, it's prostitution. So she leads with all of that. Watch the men line up for that. Who's gonna line up for that? She's ill, she can't work, and she's tricking with 60 and 70 something year old men occasionally, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
have time for her because big
Right.
mama's at home. They got their own big mama. They don't need you full time. They need you for about 30 minutes for $40.
Mm-hmm. And let's be clear here, okay? Some of these 67-year-old guys, right, they would need a little blue pill to get it up. So they might not be having intercourse with her. It doesn't mean that she's not trading something else that has sexual value in nature, right, for that money. Like, and not for anything, right? I ain't gonna call out nobody, grandpa, but some men really like the company of young ladies. And it's not, they don't see it, the men even, they don't see it as what it really is. No, she's my friend, she's my friend. This old school thing where they say the word friend, but really she's there for sexual titillation even. Like, so they get this, hot, well, at least nice bodied to them, right, young woman to clean their house. And that woman knows that she cleans the house in the little bati rider shorts and a bikini top. And she does, instead of bending with her knees to pick something up off the floor, she bends at the waist. And, it's a whole thing because she knows she's there for him to get that peep show,
Hmm.
right? So again, I really think that she's heavily misconstruing what her life has been to this point in time. And not for anything, I'm sorry, not sorry, but every chick, I'm not kidding, every chick I've ever seen that has a platinum blonde wig
Uh-oh.
who is black is a stripper. All of them. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, I have a hard time believing she got this white blonde wig And it has nothing to do with trying to make herself into a sexual object to trade so that way she doesn't have to actually work in life.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. Shall we continue? Any other
Yeah.
comments?
Let's
Hmm.
continue. Let's see what she has to offer.
Right? Well, listen to her expectations of men. Okay.
Because none of them have time for me. I understand that because they have to pay the bills. So it's like we don't go out on dates or anything. They're always working.
Right. And that's what I was saying in the beginning. I think you're in a position, any guy that can date you, right, that has their stuff together, it would make no sense for them to do that with you. Now, when you have two sugar daddies and another guy, and 70, 60, I mean, these are older men that, you're doing stuff with. I want to be clear. I am not a relationship expert and I am not a therapist. And maybe you should consider going to a therapist because it just doesn't make sense. There's no reason why a decent guy would step in and treat you the way I think you deserve to be treated, but you got to treat yourself a certain way first.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, you went through a lot. I lost my mom. That's a life-changing situation. Unless you've been through that. All honesty, when my mother died, I was a wreck. Thank God I had a father who just literally carried me through that year of life because it was a really hard year for me. So I do understand that, right? That's a life-changing situation. So there is some grace. But I think before your mother passed, these men were in your life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not just
like one
your
of them
mom.
even helped with that. One of them even helped pay with laying her to rest.
Right. And here's the deal. We all have people that come into our lives and they help us out. I'm
Come
just
on
saying,
now.
if you want to be in a relationship with one man, right? With
Yes.
one man and one man only, you got some life sorting out you gotta do.
Got some people to X out, right?
Well, you gotta sort some things out. Let's just think about it. Like, again, there's just no reason why let's say a doctor, attractive, wants a wife, would treat you good, would take you seriously. That's kind of what it really comes down to. Like a quality man's not going to take you seriously in this moment of life. And how long have you been sleeping with older men?
When I turned about 32.
How old are you?
38 in 1 month.
So it's for the last 6 years.
Girl.
Yes.
And they pay for your college too?
That was about 10 other guys, but they're all deceased.
What?
I got 4 majors under my belt. I graduated with a degree in law from Berkeley University and Academy Art University as a fashion journalist, English teacher also, and then a creative writer. So all my life I've basically been taken care of by men.
You said 10 other guys paid for your college?
Yeah, I don't have any student loans or anything.
So basically, men
What did I
you've been getting
say?
money from men for a long time.
Yes.
Okay. And you've never been in a relationship?
No.
I hope this is not disrespectful, only because you said 10 guys pay for your college. You have 3
She ain't
guys
that fly.
right now
Sorry.
paying your bills. Have you ever been a prostitute?
She is one.
No.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Some of them don't want to be intimate, and it's kind of confusing to me.
See, she
Oh,
is one too.
She's trying to give it away. Here, you
Yes.
don't want none of this. They like, nah, take the money. Nah.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. She is a prostitute. She's been a prostitute and she's been doing it. I agree with someone said it in the chat. She's been doing this since she was very young. Celine said it. And she's been given blowjobs and whatever since she was very young to get things that she wanted that, her mom couldn't afford. And now she's gotten to this place where she realized, wait a minute, the older guys, they're willing to pay more money more easily because she looks more attractive. Just the fact that she's young and she got a tight body to a 70-year-old, that's amazing that they're getting her attention, right? She's not in competition with as many women. And so she was expecting the same thing. Okay, I'll blow you. You give me $100 or whatever. And no, they want time and attention. Like I said, all the little titillations and stuff because they're old school. And she's like, well, what do you mean? Yo, can't I just jump on it, jump off of it, get my 1,000 and go? Right? Like she's a prostitute. That's literally what she's saying. She's a prostitute and she don't understand why these dudes want more than just the regular, half service, full service, whatever. She's a come on.
Yeah, because they're older. They want some time. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Right?
like these younger guys get in, get out, and move on. The
Okay.
older ones, hey, I want some attention. You smell good. I ain't had no woman around in years. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he
But
wants, and he's paying
Yep.
for it.
but did you
Yep.
guys hear all of that training and schooling and tuition
Mm-hmm.
that she has under her belt?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's going to be
she
some
has,
more to that. So yeah, go ahead.
but she has an illness. So how are you going to be able to work any of these positions? When is that going to happen?
She doesn't have an illness. She doesn't.
And then on top of that, so she wants to trade in the 10, the 2, the 14 guys that's been paying, partial, and she wants to find a full service guy, one guy who's going to pay all of that.
Oh, I think it's more than that now. At this point, it's more she wants someone living with her to take care of stuff at home as well. Like she doesn't want to have to take care of nothing. Right now, these guys are financially paying for stuff because again, that's a transaction. What she ultimately wants is someone who can, yes, pick up those bills, but she also wants someone now who's going to cook and clean and do all the other stuff. Because here's the thing, like I said, I know what Graves' disease is. Not like I said, my aunt has Graves' disease, but not only that, but I have so the thing that's wrong with my thyroid, I have nodules in my thyroid, and my thyroid sends out too much thyroid hormone in essence. But because it's not coming from my pituitary, like with Graves' disease, there's actually not a way to control it. Which means that when it starts acting up, I just drop 50 pounds and it's very hard for me to keep weight on it, whatever. But what Graves' disease isn't is a debilitating type of disease that prevents you from working. Okay. And she is perfectly capable of working. She's perfectly capable of doing all of the things that everyone else does. Okay. If anything, some people would call a lot of the symptoms of Graves' disease a blessing versus a curse. So, it's just the convenient crutch, right? Because like I said,
Yeah.
you say the words grave, people think of death, right? And then
Mhm.
disease, right? And people go, oh my God, that's so serious. Oh my
And they
God,
back
right? And
off. Don't ask any questions. Yeah.
exactly, right? Like even with Vonda saying, like, well, she has a disease. How's she gonna work? Right? Like you hear the word disease, and that's what it makes you think of. And that's not what it is. That's how she's able to go and get like 3-4 degrees, right? And all this other stuff, and has time to be sitting there and giving up enough sexual favors to pay off hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loans, plus all of her life stuff, plus whatever her mama needed this whole time, all of their bills, everything. Dude, she's fine. She's fine, but that's the hustle. And
Exactly.
she's good at it. That's the hustle.
That's what I'm saying, because it didn't sound very promising. I mean, she has all this going on, but all of these guys are willing to pay tuition. Now, I've paid tuition before, and she's got stock in 4 different careers down there. So it's like, lady, you're not having sex with these men, but they paying this type of tuition? You don't have no student loans? She's working hard for this money.
Yep. I'm sorry. There's nothing, and it's just the way she responded, though. I mean, obviously, just the circumstantial facts tell us she's a prostitute / sugar baby, right? But and here's part of the problem too. A lot of people think, well, it's not prostitution if I'm not standing out on a corner, if I don't have a pimp, stuff like that. I didn't put myself on Craigslist. So even though everything is exactly like prostitution, they don't see it as prostitution because it's not falling into those stereotypes over there. So that might be what it is. But remember what her response was. It's like, so you're not having sex with any of these men? No, some of them don't want to. I think that's really weird. Oh, so only some of them don't want you. So that means the majority do, right? And that's what you were expecting. That was the trade-off you walked in expecting, which is why you think it's weird. Because if you weren't prostituting, right? If you weren't expecting sex for the money, then you wouldn't think it was weird. You would think it was weird when the ones who wanted sex. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty obvious. I
Mm.
don't say it's pretty obvious.
Well, I don't know. I mean, she's not presenting very well. And with this presentation, I'm not sure, what she think is going to come through on the DMs. A pimp might come through on the DM. Oh, she making money like that. She needs to work for me. Is what some dude do.
You want
I
to
mean,
cut.
yeah, there's like the dude that wanted the 23 women. Why I keep saying William? He wanted the 23 women. Hey, she could be top chick
Girl.
in the house of 23, in the 2-bedroom house of 23.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, I was 20, and this guy had asked me, don't I want nice things and everything? And I knew what it was, and I'm like, I could not get myself into that. This Italian guy, he's older, he has money. I know what I had to give up at 20 years old, and I wasn't willing to. I was dating someone at the time anyway, but I still wasn't willing to do that.
Right.
I could not pretend I did not know what it was. What, I'm just going to look cute next to him? No. Like,
Right.
no, I guess I don't want nice things. That's okay.
Right.
But
Right.
it's to sell your soul and your dignity, for a bag or some shoes. I mean, that's not enough. It's
Mm-mm.
not enough.
No.
You
I,
know.
I guess it depends though, right? Like, and like, so I think we've talked about this before on the show, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So, that kind of tells you, I think, a lot about her upbringing,
Mhm.
where, she never got past like some of these lower stages in the hierarchy, for her to get to like, feelings of esteem and self-worth and belonging and all of that. So it's all about, the stuff, acquiring stuff, having lots of money, having whatever, like that's like the height of success. And you don't care how you get it because your mind is in that scarcity kind of mindset, where you don't want to be broke and poor and have nothing and just watch TV and wish you could have things because that's where you were your whole childhood or whatever. So she's striking me as that level because it's like she's saying things that don't fit for me. How have you had higher education, not just one degree but multiple, including law? It's not like she just went for a bunch of stupid degrees, right? Law is like a big degree. um but then also you have been prostituting yourself the whole time. You say you want to be the kind of woman who, you take care of your mom and whatever, but then you're like hustling older people who need to be taken care of. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's not fitting together right.
Well, I'm just wondering, where did her change of heart come from? You know, now she wants to retire from the pretty woman career, and she just wants to find one guy. Um, so what kind of a guy are you looking for? Are you looking for a certain age range? Because apparently with the sugar daddies that she's come across, they're in their 60s and 70s, so they've been able to, financially put forth, what she needed to get what she needed done financially. So now you're just looking for that from one guy, and you want that guy to want to spend time with you when you got like, a dozen guys who only want to spend 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes with you, and the money's on the table, and that's it, and they're out.
Mm-hmm. True. I want to see where
want to
that
address
goes.
someone in the chat room here.
Uh-oh.
my memory was jogged, and it just happened to be sort of correct. Don Teasy. There was some issues at the time, so I'm going to. You reminded me. Yes, there were some issues at the time, but I still was in a relationship when I was approached, and I got something for you. Okay. Don't make me come see you. Okay. All
You
right.
asked for it, Teasy. You asked for it.
Yes. Our first one of 2022. Oh my, that's good.
No, Kendra's telling her right. She's like, you need to clear out your closet before you come on trying to, get the next dude. And this, you want the next dude to be a keeper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not gonna work. But
What
okay,
quality of this man is gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's exactly what I've been looking for. She's exactly what I've been looking for.
Right.
What man is out there? I mean, decent, good man. I mean, I don't know everything. I don't know everybody. But realistically, what man is like, oh my God, I can't believe she walked right in front of my eyes. This is crazy. What a coincidence.
Yeah, you can't even she can't even hide it, She couldn't even hide this if she wanted to, because there's just so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's messed up.
Well,
Let's
I give her props for her honesty, because she's like, oh no, it was 10 guys that took care of that. Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa.
Okay, let's listen to a little more. Let's see what we got.
Okay.
They've always been at least 7 years older than me. The last 8 years, they've always been, now they're like up in their ages. But before, I never would go over 7 years older than me.
So what kind of man you looking for, girl?
I just want somebody that wants to get up and go to work every day, or help me raise my son better. Maybe somebody who don't want kids, because I really don't want no more kids. One's enough. Somebody that wants to travel.
Okay, your son's father, is he in his life?
No,
he's not.
and my son told me he's tired of me waiting on him. He feels like I'm waiting for him to come back. And he told me it's time for me to move on with my life.
Come back from here.
Have you ever been in a
her
relationship
son?
together?
No, I wouldn't call it a relationship.
I mean, so you've never had a relationship?
No.
I'm just curious. What's your relationship like with your father?
Oh, it's not good. I've been on my own since I was 12.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, here's the deal. I'm not a therapist. Have you ever been to a therapist?
Only one time.
Girl, you need to.
But we didn't discuss. But we didn't discuss my about me. It was more about like mental health issues.
Well, yeah, I think you should have some more conversation, because you have a lot going on. And if you really want a desire to, before you attract that type of guy, honey, you're going to have to get some things together within your
Because
own life.
I always get guys telling me that you're so sexy, you're so beautiful. That's all I get every day, all day long, from all kind of guys, like every race. And like I could go to the gas station, they'll be like, "Oh, you're beautiful. I'll pay for your gas." Like,
well,
it's listen, like that on my phone.
It's clear that you don't have problem attracting men. You already told us 10 guys paid for your college degree. You got 3 guys paying your rent right now. That's 13 men that have financially helped you in life, but they're not wiping you up. They're not making you their girlfriends.
I did get a ring, but I gave it back.
How long was the man that gave you a ring?
That was in 2010. He gave me a ring, and for Valentine's Day and by my birthday in July, I gave it back.
How old was he?
I was 28 and he was about 19.
Girl.
So you were 10 years older than him?
Yes. He had a daughter, I had a son.
So did you have sex with him?
Yes.
Okay. You must be amazing in the bedroom. You have to be. You must be amazing in the bedroom.
He bought me a ring after sleeping with me one time.
But 19, 28, he could, listen, girl.
He wasn't mentally ready for me.
I believe that. I think
so I told him I didn't want him to think I was a gold digger, so I gave him his ring back. Everybody said I should have kept it, but I didn't feel right. Because I wasn't there for the ring. I was there for the love.
You were there for the love. Okay.
Well, now you hear this last clip I played. You hear more of the mental issues.
Yeah.
You heard it more there. That's pretty much just it was laid out on the table. Now, as far as all that has happened, I don't know, but not having, the father in your life, you've been on your own since 12. On your own, that can mean a lot of things. On your own, you had to sleep with over your aunt's house after your parents broke up or something since 12 because they weren't stable and they didn't have a place for you to go. And you backpacked it here and there from 12 to 18. And during those years, as we develop, there's a lot of things that can happen. You're just a little girl developing, going down the street with your backpack to school and being approached, or even in school. So something has happened to the young lady between that 12 and 18, those very precious years. And that might be the introduction to the lifestyle that she have had.
Yeah, it sounds like she's done it for so long and started so young. It's really all that she knows. She had enough wherewithal in her to say, you know what, I want to, get an education, providing that she's, being, truthful with her, her education and what she's doing. So I would think, in this area, I mean, she's what, 38? Where is there any maturity? I mean, for her to get engaged to a 19-year-old at 28, it's like, girl, that wasn't gonna work. I don't care who he was. He could have been young boy NBA, 19 years old. It don't matter what type of money he has. That is not the man or the boy for you. That's too young. That's way too young. You should have gave him his ring back and some, Happy Meal money. There was nothing that she did the right thing with that. But I agree with Kendra that she needs to get her mental in order because this girl's been fending for herself since she was a preteen.
Yeah.
And when you say fending for herself, she's been doing what she has needed to do to survive. It doesn't appear as if she has any, substance abuse problems. I mean, unless, we find out some stuff later. She seems very lucid right now, but her mental needs to be seriously checked, and she needs to actually look at that because she's accustomed to getting money from other men. But it's like, how do you work at a job? How do you work at a job, but you're so used to getting money from men to pay your bills? So the minute you go to work and your job or they piss you off, you're not going to want to be there. Where's the stability? You don't have any stability on a job. You know, my thing is I've worked for so long, I wouldn't know how to, you know, take some money from a man and you're not getting anything for it. You just want to just give me money. That's one thing. But there's no man alive that's just going to just give you money and expect nothing back. And what you want back, I can't afford that. That's too much. It's too much.
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to show y'all something real fast because some people might not have actually seen this before. Okay. So this is the pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. And basically what the principle is, okay, is that as humans, when we're born, okay, we start right here, okay, at the very bottom, the physiological, okay, that is our base of humanity. We cannot achieve anything or even care to achieve it or even see that we should want to achieve it. Anything above the foundational, right, of breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, excretion, right, going to the bathroom. These are basics, okay? And if we don't have these basics fulfilled, right, and a knowledge that we are going to have these things fulfilled, a comfort in that, we can't focus on anything else, right? Like, think about it this way. Even these days, people say, well, I'm starving like Marvin. But are you actually starving? Like, no, you ate, you've eaten, you just missed breakfast, right? You're not starving. If you were starving, that's the only thing you can care about is food because you feel like you're dying. Or if you haven't had water literally in days, that's all you care about. All of a sudden, you don't care. You will embarrass yourself, right? You will let people shame. You will do anything to get that bite of food. You will risk jail to get that bite of food because you were starving, right? Okay. So now this is normally now the second stage up here, safety. This is normally the stage when we see these things in people on both sexes, right? This is normally the stage people get stuck at, right? So security of body, security of employment, security of resources, security of morality, security of the family, security of health, security of property, right? It's and unfortunately, right, we have the dirty little secret of molestation and sexual assault and stuff like that that's going on within the Black community, within families, and you know, our girls being assaulted and then the mother blaming the kids. And we have a lot of stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying it's not happening in other communities. I just care about what's happening in ours, right?
Right.
So that's security of body. Think about it. If you are 12, 13, you have no control over what's happening with your body and how it's developing. You have no control over how people are seeing that body and treating you differently as a result. And then you have no control about what's being done to you as a result of that body, right? Or, you know, you might think, oh, I'm finally going on a class trip. I'm having a good year now. Mom loses her job. Now y'all are about to be homeless. You have no control over that. You have no control over whether or not you're going to have food. You have no control over people tell you, you know, treat people the way you want to be treated, be a good person, blah, blah, blah. But you have no control over whether other people are going to treat you well or treat you right or treat you the way you're supposed to be treated, right? Or having a family. How many kids were latchkey kids, right? How many kids had no one to turn to when hard things were happening except for the streets, right? And so this is normally the stage that a lot of these young girls and young boys get stuck in because they can't fulfill these things. And so because they can't fulfill these things, even though you're supposed to kind of crawl through the whole entire pyramid, and you should actually, when you're coming into adulthood, you should be up here at self-actualization, right? And slowly building through these stages in your childhood and teen years. But a lot of them never make it here. So you can't, right? How do you care about building your own family properly? How do you care about being intimate sexually? Not getting banged, but being intimate, you know, showing love and, you know, stuff like that. How do you care about that when you're not sure where you're going to sleep or you don't know if you're safe and secure? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Same thing with self-esteem. Like, we're all talking about the self-esteem we had that when the offer came towards us, we couldn't do it. But how do you have self-esteem when it's a difference between you sleeping outside in the cold and being another victim, right? Victimized out there in the open for anyone to catch, or, starving for days or whatever. Or you drop your pride, you drop your morality, you drop all of that, and you give some dude a blowy, and guess what? Now you can eat. Now you got the enough money to get to school, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about, and I heard it from early, because it's like what she's saying about who she wants to be, how she wants to see herself, is not jiving with what she's actually doing. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I think it's very, very clear that, she was probably a victim of some type of assault, abuse as a child. Um, and then, I mean, I said this to y'all before. When I was, 10, 11, 12, and all of a sudden I started looking 16, 17, 18, and I learned the power of the punani, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that's what it is. It's the power of the punani. I realized that me having this thing and looking the way I do gave me a power over men that I didn't used to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had already developed over here past, I had self-esteem, I had confidence, achievement is, I had already gotten here, right? I was already in this place where I was creative, fun, problem. So I was already up here. I was developing here. So when I figured out, power to punani, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't start using it for resources and whatever, because I didn't need to. Because even when I got to the place where I was homeless, I had too much self-esteem and too much pride already, right?
Mm-hmm.
I already had safety and security in my childhood years, that wouldn't allow me to fall back down to that level, right? So I was like, okay, well, how can I use this power? So I would use the power. Okay, it's bad, fine, orbiters and whatnot, but that's how I use the power, right? I realized I could basically demand whatever I wanted, and they fulfill on the hope that maybe one day I might say, sure, let's sleep together. Maybe one day I might see them that way and date them, right? Um, and this girl, she didn't figure that out. That's why she was so
Mm-hmm.
surprised these guys didn't want sex, right? She's like, you don't want the blowjob? Wait, what? Why not? I thought that's what I was. I'm a tool to be used in exchange for money. Like, why don't you want the tool I have? Right? Like that was really what it is. So I mean, therapy. This is what therapy for her would be about: fulfilling these two bottom things,
Mm-hmm.
um, resolving all the trauma that happened in her early childhood that got her stuck down here, with no physiological or safety fulfillment, and then helping her progress and grow and develop through these other stages to get to a place that she really should be. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, she's just going to keep doing what she's doing at
Yeah.
38 years old.
Because she's stuck. She's literally stuck. And when she mentioned that her son said that he's tired of her waiting on the guy to
Hmm.
come back, her dad.
Hmm.
And then she said, and then when she mentioned about the ring, she said, everybody told me. Everybody said I should have. And I'm like, but what about you? So, I hear these type of things and I'm like, okay, there's something going on here. So,
Hmm.
um, as you're showing in the graph, yeah, those years that's important, that we're developing from that 12 to 18,
Hmm.
something has happened right there. And I'm agreeing with Kendra G that she needs some help.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll play the rest of it and then we'll see what we come up with. Let's see.
Hmm.
Where's the screen? If I remember the name of it, it is called Three Different. Okay. There it is. Boop. Okay. Share. Uh oh. There we go.
Okay, so you date younger and you date older.
Yes.
Well, I just listen. I honestly don't think I want to present you to the guys. I don't think you're in a position
Ready.
right now.
She's
I
not
think
ready.
some some business. You got 3 different men paying your bills. There's no reason why a quality guy is gonna take you serious.
Okay.
And I think you know, you
Just
should
be
really
honest. I can take it.
you should really seriously think about going to a therapist.
Okay. And
I
talking
think you
about
really
these
should.
guys,
Say what?
and tell him about these guys.
I'm not saying necessarily talking about the guys, but I'm just saying is what you're saying is this. You have men that financially take care of you, but they're not in relationships with you, right? They don't have time to be with you and things of that nature, which actually makes sense. The more digging we did, we learned that these are older guys. You said one was 70, one's around 60. So that's the quintessential sugar daddy age. But then you want a quality guy that is going to say, I want to be with you seriously. It just doesn't make sense why a guy would do that. Okay, but we gotta go.
Even if I cut the other 3 off?
Excuse me?
Even if I were to cut the other 3 off?
I mean, yeah, but I think you have deeper issues. Even if you cut those other 3 off, I still think you should go talk to someone. Because you said you had 10 guys that paid for your schooling.
For college.
So I feel like you're used to men paying for you for stuff.
Yeah, I am. And my dad was the same way. Like, I'm a dad's girl. I grew up with my grandmother on the week during the week, and my dad had me on the weekend.
Well, I asked you about the relationship with your dad. You said it wasn't good.
As I got older, because I felt like he couldn't provide for me anymore.
He couldn't what?
He couldn't provide the things that I wanted anymore. It got to the point where he was like you're too expensive.
And what age was that?
He's like, you want 5? He was like, you want, when I was 17.
Okay. Have you ever taken care of yourself financially?
I got my first job at 12.
Okay. All right. Listen, I can't do it. I can't present you. I think you got some things you got to get together, to be honest.
Well, but thank you for having me.
No, I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you. All right. Bye,
I
baby.
watch you all the time. That's why.
I appreciate you.
Bye, baby.
Okay. Bye, baby.
Pray for me.
Well, bless her heart. Bless her heart.
Yeah, I like that because well, I always say I think people should have a responsibility. They take super chats and all this and whatever and let anybody talk and they don't care. You have to have some type of dignity and care enough not to it was especially when someone is not mm, quite there. And this young lady, she's not there.
Yeah, it's like her growth is stunted. Um,
Mhm.
and to be honest, she's not out of control, but she has some serious issues.
Yeah.
You know, and they are related to her security in life, and that's tied to a man. She doesn't have security in her life unless she has a man paying for her time,
Mm-hmm.
paying her something. And when she got of a certain age and her dad was like, oh, whoa, you know, we don't know what type of dad he was. You know, she may have saw him on the weekends, but he could have just been a deadbeat if he didn't have her, you know, the whole week. You know, what was the weekend daddy thing? How come she didn't live with him full time and with her grandmother on the weekend? Go visit grandma on the weekend, but you're with dad during the week. So her dad was basically the visitor, the one she visited. So I'm sure on the weekend was, okay, daddy gonna take me shopping, you know, to make up for all the lost time. But then it got too big for him where he's like, wait a minute, I can't afford, you know, you like this. You know, you're 17. You don't want Barbie dolls at 17. You want bigger things. And dad doesn't have it like that. So she took that as, you know, and we don't know exactly what it was she wanted that he couldn't get. She wasn't saying, oh, he couldn't pay for my basic needs. He said that she was too expensive. Is he saying she was too expensive because buying too much cereal and milk? Or is because she wanted, you know, brand name things, you know? And she could get that if she was doing her own thing. But, you know, when she was with dad, it was like, oh, okay, well, I can't do it. So she kind of got mad at him. It sounds like she's a little estranged for him or got mad at him. So, you know, that's, you know, sketchy, and she needs to actually get some help with that. But I do commend her, you know, because she sounds bad, but she could be way worse. She could have 7 kids with 8 different baby daddies, but she has one. She's like, oh no, I don't even want to have any more. One was enough. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, keep it locked down. But, you know, I still depend on these men, you know, for money. You know, she takes care of herself, but she doesn't take care of herself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Her dependence is on another man, and that's what she's learned to do.
Yeah,
And now
you know what?
she's getting into the age of 40, and, you know, she's telling herself the right thing, you know, oh, I need to, you know, get some, you know, education under my belt. Okay, I'll just have, you know, sugar daddy pay for it, you know. But now I'm hitting 40, and, you know, I want to find just one guy who's going to pay for everything.
Well, yeah, we evolved to actually think like that. I've explained this to the men who don't like it, but it just happens to be true. If you are, even if, okay, she might not be your personal type, guys, okay? But if it's not about what we objectively think or see in her, or what we think that she looks like au natural or whatever. It's ultimately about what the world is telling her about her level of attractiveness. And so when you combine someone who's stuck in very early stages of development with someone who gets those outcomes of being treated like a hot girl, then what you get is a woman who only when basically her reproduction cycle is coming near to a close starts looking for a provider type male, right? Because all of her DNA is saying life isn't safe, right? Because she wasn't raised in safety and security, obviously stuff was missing, and, you know, her brain told her danger, danger, danger. So she started developing sexually earlier, right? She started having sex and trading sex clearly earlier, right? She had a child early. I'm going to bet, we don't know, but I'm going to bet she wasn't the most involved parent. And, you know, she kind of stayed in that place. That's very typical of what you see of humanity when we are born into harsh times. You know why? Because humanity doesn't want to die off. So if 10,000 years ago you're born into harsh times, people were dying left, right, and center, right? So your little brain tells you, okay, you know what? Better get moving. You don't have time to accumulate resources and safety and whatever. You got to get sexy in now because we got to make some humans, right? So that is something that her brain told her to do, given, you know, the environment. And then, you know what? It seems like she had a period of time, come to Jesus moment, where she said, listen, I don't want to keep going down this road. And so she turned to probably a slightly estranged father and said, okay, if you can make up the deficit, I'll stop all this mess. I think that's really what it was. And he couldn't. But that's because he's not, you know, a John or a Trick, right? He's her father. But unfortunately, she learned that safety and that whatever, that hustle, she learned that with Johns and Tricks. So yeah, daddy can't compensate for that because he's not your John. He's your dad. And then that was it. She said, okay, well, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And you see that a lot in street kids. Okay. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I have a very similar mentality. I do. Not as far as the trading sex part and whatever, but the part where I'm always caring about taking care of myself. I've always cared about from day one, right? I've always had a man. I was always very rarely single, right? The difference between me and her is I wasn't willing to do the casual sex culture and whatever. So I just stuck. If I started dating someone, we're together. I'm good. I wasn't sitting there trying to be nitpicky and whatever. I will be with you for 4 years, even if everything's terrible. because I was looking for someone to take care of me. I need someone to take care of me. I need to make sure I'm safe. I need to make sure I'm secure. I need to make sure someone is there for me, right? Because things were not safe and secure with my family. Because when it came to family, my family showed me that at any moment they could rip the rug out from underneath me. So what was I looking for? I was looking for a man who's going to take care of me and not leave me. And as long as I had those two factors covered, I was willing to deal with almost anything else, right? So, and so when she said that, I'm like, it's messed up, but I get it because
Hmm.
I thought exactly the same way. It took a lot of therapy to get beyond that point where that's the only thing I cared about. It really did.
Understandable.
Hmm.
Welcome, music. How are you?
I'm doing
Hey,
fine,
hey,
ladies. I know
Elder.
y'all up here, y'all covering up here for this lady. Somebody lying. She lying. She
Uh oh.
lying.
Uh
She
oh.
Music.
lying. She is
Okay.
lying. The whole show was a lie. That's why the lady said, I can't do this no more. You went too many places. 1 minute you're by yourself, and 1 minute you didn't like your daddy, the next thing your daddy in your life. Well, which is it? Too many lies. Somebody lying. She is an authentic garden hoe.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, the
dang.
question is this though, music, right? Okay, so she's
Uh-huh.
a hoe. I mean, I
Yeah,
think we
she's a
all
hoe.
stated that from early, but here's the thing: the question is not if she's a hoe, right? It's what variety of hoe, because a girl, right, who is hoeing at 12 and taking care of herself and only really turning to and having any type of real interaction with her father when she's damn near an adult already, right? That isn't typical. Like, as in, when I say typical, as in, that's not normal. That's not how children are supposed to be raised. Children at 12 years old should not be free, and also psychologically damaged enough that they're out there hoeing, right? If they are, something went terribly wrong with the parenting, right? So we got to look at it from that perspective too. Like, there's a difference between a girl who was sheltered and whatever, just had a normal life, and then she went to college and said, you know what? Hoeing looks profitable. I'm gonna go start that up. Right? There's a difference
Yeah.
between that and this girl who
You, you,
you hear she gave her first blowjob at 12. You're like, something went wrong.
yeah, you're right. But see, in this case, if she was authentic about what she was saying, she just came up there to catch a date, and she didn't have nothing else
Mhm.
to talk about. I'm sorry, but me being that kind of guy, I'm that guy that over 50. So listen, if a young 23-year or 24-year woman come up, what the hell you want? I ain't got no money. I ain't got that for you. No.
Mhm.
No, no, she is a authentic. She's one of those girls that one of these women that's been gone through her whole life using older men to get what she wants. 70,
Mhm.
50, 60, and now you want to come to it an idea of, well, let me go and find somebody that's a little bit more my age to hang out with. Let me go to this dating app. Everybody else using it. Because see, if that was a brother on the other end of this clip tonight, we all would have had something to say about that. He's a hoe. He's a tramp.
Mhm.
She's a
Mhm.
hoe. She's a tramp.
Mhm.
Yeah. She just made the story up to come to get on the screen. None of it to me. Well, I could be wrong, but chances are, no, it just didn't seem authentic to me. None of it.
Okay, so what parts, like, you think, what part of her story do you think is a lie? Pretty
Well,
much.
for
I know
for
you're
as
saying
many
everything, but
for as many first of all, for as many degrees that she had, when did she have time to do all of this and go to school? Where she get a degree at? DeVry?
well, she's 38 and she's never worked really. So
Yeah,
Right.
she's
Never worked.
been putting
Right.
in
You got
work.
all these degrees and ain't never had no job. Nowhere. Nobody hired you. You couldn't even get on at Walmart.
Well, she says she did work before then, but I don't know
Hmm.
what. It's just a lot of stuff that's missing. But
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what I'm
what
saying.
I'll say.
It's hard to
I'll
keep
say
up a
this.
lie.
It is when you're trying to protect, some things about yourself. I get it. I understand that. There, when you're a young
mhm.
woman and you're trying to make it, there's things that you may have to do to survive. You may have to move the hijab to the side and suck
Uh-oh.
one off just to feed yourself.
Mm,
Ooh,
I
oh
would
my
mm,
goodness.
never make
I
fun.
got 20. I got 20 for that. That's all I got for that one. 20.
Oh Lord,
I would
Shar.
never make any fun of a person's situation because you don't know what this young lady had to do to survive. And she wants to have some type of dignity. So she's not going to just tell you straight out. There's going to be a little mystery, then there's going to be a lie over here because she wants to have some type of dignity. She wants you to look at her as a woman, you know?
mm.
Mm-mm.
You know
But
what?
It's in the
I
it's in the
think
dictionary
I think
between
the
shit and
important
syphilis.
thing. I think the important thing that you said right there, Sharp, was protecting. You know who I think she's protecting? I think she's protecting her mother because her mother just died. And so, like I noticed, like with my sister, right? My sister cannot accept real truths about her mother. For example, her mom took her when she was 2, 3 years old, ran away, lied and went to a women's shelter, lied and said she was being abused, and it was years of trial to get custody back of her.
Hmm.
And that included if me or my little cousin saw my sister, and she remembers these times because she missed us and whatever, and then she would tell her mom she saw us, and it would get my dad arrested, which then got him assaulted by the police, and like it was a whole thing. My sister cannot accept that her mom did that, right? She thinks the family, her mom's family, told her it was the opposite way. Now that her mom's dead, she can't accept it, and she can't because it's her mom, and so it's her mom's memory. Her mom's not alive to confront, and her mom's not alive to fix it, right? Or to make a different legacy or whatever. And
Hmm.
so I think that woman is going through that same thing where I think if it was 5 weeks ago we were talking to her, we would have heard a lot about her mom, a lot about why at 12 years old she felt she had to take care of herself and she was alone, and what her mom had exposed her to, and da da da. We would have heard a lot about that, right?
Hmm.
But now her mom's gone. And so I think that a lot of the holes that we were all feeling, and a lot of the things that we felt were lies, there's just lies of omission because the part that she didn't want to tell us about and the person she wants to protect, it was about her mom. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
Yeah. And now she has this son. She said that she wanted someone to help her raise him right. Those were the words that she used,
yeah, she did
Mm-hmm.
say that.
you know.
Mm.
But as far as with the host of the show, I give her kudos because because you pay for that show. I think it's I don't know how much it is, $1 or $1.99, or I'm not sure. But some, as I mentioned before, they just want your money. And
Right.
just think, to put her out there, um, for $1, for a cash app, just to put her out there. Oh, okay, you want to be on the show and you want this? Okay, hey y'all, check her out. And clearly, this woman is not ready. She didn't even know what to talk about with the therapist. She like talk to the therapist about the men. She just
Girl.
doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Although I'll be real with you, yeah. When she said that, I said yes. Because that's what I think I think it starts with one of mommy's boyfriends, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it'll
starts
come up
there.
though. If she sees
Mm-hmm.
someone on a regular
That was a
basis, it'll come up.
70-year-old. He was still there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nah. I wouldn't be surprised if she also was protecting some criminal behavior, like a la
Mhm.
Cardi B. Um, it's happened to my grandfather twice. Not once, but twice. The man is lonely and he's older, and his wife was an evil demon. Sorry, mama, because I know I saw you earlier, so my bad, but it is what it is. Um, and so he likes, he takes, this is the thing. It's not that my grandfather is not being like a lech, okay? He sees young women in trouble. He wants to help them, right? So like he has a basement apartment in his house, but it's kind of like, even though it's a basement apartment, it's still like inside the house. Like you're still kind of sharing the kitchen, whatever. And so, it'll be a young woman with 2 kids on welfare and whatever, and he wants to help her out. So yeah, okay, you can live here, you pay me what you can when you can. And really his payment is that he gets to see her young, tight little self wandering around, and sometimes she cooks some food, and you know what I mean? But then she hustled him, right? It was like signed up credit cards in his name he didn't even know existed. The second one drained his savings account of all of the money and transferred it to another account. And the thing is, when he found out the money was gone, he calls the bank. The bank said, "Yeah, you did it on online banking." He's like, "I don't have online banking." You do now. Yeah, the woman fully signed him up for online banking. Now, here's the thing, right? So I think that's another thing too. I think that woman was running some scams, some games, some hustles, to get those hundreds of thousands of dollars of her stuff paid off and stuff. And she don't want to admit that because, maybe the statute of limitations hasn't run out on all them crimes. So.
I think you ladies are kind of giving her the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, I will say maybe she had some heartaches and some, but I think I was kind of listening intently a little bit. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I'm looking at it from the side of the male. If that was a female and I heard her talking like that, so would tell me that she deals with older men, and she's been dealing with older men completely throughout her life, and most of the time when she needs something, she turns to either an older man or someone that's close to her. I need my car fixed, can you come help me out, with usually the promise of I'm gonna do something for you later on. Yeah.
Well, she's well trained. If she's been doing, this type of thing since she was 12 years old, then, at 32, it's not going to be hard to do. A woman doesn't, all of a sudden get 35 and, fall on hard times and be like, oh, I don't have nothing else. I'm just going to sell some ass. You don't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
She was doing that. Yeah, she was doing this as a young girl. So it became habit, and she became calloused and used to it, because look at how she talks about it. Oh, well, some of them want to sleep with me, but some of them don't. But they're my friends, and, they give me money, and I'm sorry, it's not that easy. I have male friends, but I just can't go up to any of them and be like, oh, I need some money, and, no strings attached. Just give me the money, and, all you're going to get is a cool handshake. That's it. Nothing else. That's not going down. It's not going down like that. If you're talking about, oh, I need my tuition paid for this semester, cool handshake's not going to do it. So, the practice that she went through, her childhood, trained her for what she's doing now. But like I say, I do give her enough that she's like, you know what? I don't want to keep doing this. At the very least, she's like, well, I'm going to try to educate myself. I don't know what her plan is, because she doesn't sound like she has a plan to actually stop the tricking, stop the sugar daddying. She doesn't sound like she has a plan on, okay, so now, I have this, career, I'm going to go work here, and, I don't need these men. She's still looking for a man. So she needs some help. She needs some help.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. And let's be real, because she said she had a law degree. Now, I don't know if she has the law school degree, or if she has an undergrad that would support a law school career. It didn't sound so much like she had actually done the, law school. And so I don't think she even has the awareness of what it all takes to become a lawyer. Like, she went to school because it's basically like extended childhood in a way, right? Like, you still get to stay in this in-between stage where you're not quite grown. And you don't have to make any decisions. You don't actually. And so now she's like, well, I'm going to be a lawyer. Remember, she said at the beginning. And then she told us about her education, but nowhere in her education did she talk about taking the LSATs. Did she talk about sitting for the bar? Right. And I don't think she knows any of that. Yeah.
Nope. None of that. See, that's what I'm saying. It's the little subtle nuances that people say sometimes that they forget to fill in the cracks. It's like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
okay, if you were at 12-year-old, you said you was doing this, but when we first heard you talking, you had all kind of reverence for your mother. Where was your mother at 12 years old while all this stuff was happening to you?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
and those questions, of course, you would ask. Those type of questions, on the show like that. But she asked enough to
Hmm.
hmm
give people enough to analyze and say, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. Oh, there's
Right.
some trauma here. There's some things there.
Yeah, a lot of things
And
hmm
that just didn't add up. And not to say
yeah.
that she was, because she had been fabricating the whole story. Yeah, some of it may have had some validity to it, some truth to it. But when you start piecing the whole thing together, okay, what you really here for? You're trying to catch somebody. When you're trying to catch a mate, do you come out and put your worst foot forward?
of course not. You six
Right.
figures. Shoot, what you talking about? Six figures.
Hmm.
What man after listening to this stream right here would go back and go in her DM and say, "Yeah, let me hook you up later on. I'll get with you later."
You know
You'll
what though?
find
I gotta
someone.
right. Honestly, I gotta give the manosphere points on this one though, because when Kendra, the reason why she told us about the law thing was like, well, what are these men gonna get in return? Well, I want to be a lawyer. Wait, what? Like, how is that? No, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. I think that the manosphere heavily overstates this focus on just looks and, the ability to carry a baby in your womb, and understates the value of a woman with some form of intelligence and, ambition and stuff. But let's be
In this
real.
case, they would have been right about this one.
Right, you know what I mean? No, no man sitting there paying off $100,000 of your student loans because one day you might be able to take that degree and get more student loans to pay to become a lawyer, and then maybe one day they might need a lawyer, and then at that point you'll get the services. Like what?
Right. And
Like
off the
that?
top, right. And off the top, you telling me not only I'm not the only guy. There's three other guys that might show up at any other time.
Right? Like what? And it's just like, oh, the dude who gave you a ring, he was 18. Listen, when I was a teenager, I was given a ring by more than one dude, right? You know what those rings were? They were them promise rings. Remember them rings with it's two hands holding a
Them little
heart?
bitty ones, or them little bitty
Yeah.
ones.
But no, it's not even a diamond. It's
Little
two hands.
diamond
It's silver,
chips.
right?
Yeah,
It's
had a
silver
chip
and
in
it's two hands. It's silver. It's two hands holding a heart, and then there's a crown on top of the heart. You remember that? Because she's in my age category. Those rings were all the rage. And that's what men gave to women when they're like, yo, you my wifey, right? We gonna get married one day. There was no diamonds on it. It was like you could buy it for $25 from like anywhere. But it was like the thing. I don't even know where the hell it came from. Y'all don't I'm gonna find a picture of it because you guys have to see what I know she didn't get a diamond ring. I know she didn't. Watch, I'm gonna show y'all. Let me go look for it.
Well, I still got my little chip of a diamond back when I was 17. I the band is probably worth more than the little diamond dust on it.
Oh yeah, you know what? Listen, I don't hate on those rings. I'm gonna be real. I don't hate on that. I think that is sweet. You hear about that a lot of these really long term marriages start with rings just like that,
Hmm.
right? And then on their 10th year anniversary or 25-year anniversary or something, right? Then they upgrade. So I'm not hating on that. I think that is, you do what you can when you can.
Right. I'm gonna get you a bigger one later on. I'm gonna get you a bigger one. Just put this on for now. Hmm,
Right.
put
I
this one
might
on.
have tossed mine though, the one I had. I might have
Oh
tossed it.
really?
I think I did.
Mm.
Mm,
See there,
Toss the
Don
ring.
Teasy, Don Teasy, you hear that?
Hmm.
well,
What else would you expect Char to do?
yeah,
She
I think
throw
I
away
did toss it
everything, Bubba.
because I don't see. It seemed like I remember picking it up and like, what I'm gonna keep this for? But I think I
Mm-hmm.
tossed it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well,
Okay.
it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't necessary. Fine. Listen, we all know Shar, so it's all right. Um, Here, let me show y'all the ring I'm talking about. Because
Okay.
this ring is like, oh my god, everybody. If you were in love, okay, if you were in love in my era, and the man loved you, he was gonna give you one of these rings. Okay, this ring right here. This this this, this ring. See, it
Damn.
got the hand holding the heart with the crown on it. I don't know where
Aw.
this foolishness came from. Okay, I don't know why we decided this was the symbol of all serious love. But if you were black and you were in a relationship with somebody and you were their wifey, you were getting this ring. Okay. And she's saying an 18-year-old proposed. Listen, he
Okay.
gave her this promise ring, okay? This is what she got. I don't believe she got nothing with a diamond on it. I'm sorry, I don't. And if there was diamonds, it was like the fake ones, like the cubic zirconia, and they were dotting all of this right here, just adorning the crown with their fake glass jewelry. Yeah, come on now.
The
Like,
diamondette.
mm, I don't know.
Diamond
I have
net.
I have a hard time believing that. Like a lot of women, I don't know what it is, right? And I'm gonna be fair here because I get accused, for example, and I've seen it too, where women get accused of lying that they were ever married, that they were ever engaged, that they are married, that they are engaged. Because a lot of women say, I was engaged 5 times, I was engaged 3 times. He did propose, I just said no. Like you almost never hear a woman these days saying, no, I've never been engaged. Like it's so infrequent, and it's like I
Mm.
don't know. I have a hard time believing her on that one. That one, I was like, I feel like that was a lie because you're just trying to make yourself look better. Like, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
a man did
Trying
want
to
me. No, I swear.
trying to
Right? Like,
trying to clean it up. Every time she opened up her mouth, another bone fell out. Bloop, 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 bloop.
yeah. It just seems
Well,
like,
it happened 10 years ago. She hasn't been proposed to since.
mm-hmm. It
Mm.
happened 10 years
What,
ago by an
what all them
18-year-old boy.
And now that
with all,
boy was still in high school.
right, with all them law
Mhm.
degrees and all that education, she ain't ran into not one would be suitor.
That that's what I'm saying.
Not
Like,
one.
really? With all that education, you were in college for it had to be at least 10, 10, 12 years, right? So
Mm-hmm. You met no
you're trying to tell me
doctors, no lawyers,
not one, not one.
not one.
Well, she met them. They just
Mm.
said no, thank you.
They left their money. They left the money on the counter when they left.
Mm, if that, but I mean, I want to say this, ladies. Listen, I understand, style and fashion, blah blah blah. But these solid colored, super overly bright plastic terrible wigs, y'all need to stop wearing those. They look
Yeah,
so bad, and they make you look bad. They make you look cheap. You know what I mean? Like that's what I said. Like they literally look like the wigs that strippers put on, and strippers put them on so that way they look significantly different, or like webcam girls and stuff, right? They put so that way they don't look the same as they do in real life, right? Like y'all are wearing this in real life. Like that's your style and fashion. Don't wear those anymore because they make you look worse than you are. Like I again, if she had her hair completely, I'm not even kidding. If she had like a nice little afro or even like some weave, but it was like black, understated, whatever. If she had just that one change, I probably would have read her and everything she was saying from the beginning very differently. Um, because the
Mm.
appearance of her wearing that wig just off the
okay.
bat.
Okay, I'll go ahead and say it, Ruby. She too dark to wear that color wig.
Listen,
That's like
I
a dark skinned black man wearing a bright red sweater. Come on, you know you're gonna stick out.
Yeah, I think that
okay,
was the
yeah,
purpose. Wanted to stick out.
Mm.
yeah, but not in a good way. Honestly, I
Right,
don't even like when light skinned girls wear that color. Like, it just looks
right,
so.
right. It looks weird on a bright skinned woman. So imagine what it looks like when the brothers walk in, when she walk past it, and the brothers just follow her. Like we all look at each other with this puzzled look on our face. Why?
Yeah, it's not a good look. And I mean, that was I think she just grabbed whatever wig and put it on her head because she got through to Kendra or whatever, right? But it's just like,
Mhm.
girl, like this is how you wanted to present yourself to get a man. Like, what did you think you were gonna get? Like, you got to think about, just like we said with the dude who with the no shirt and whatever. You have to think about what your presentation is saying to the people that
Yep.
are listening to you. Like, forget your story for a second, just looking at you. Because honestly, I've noticed this, and guys, y'all can lie about it all you want, but listen, if you are hot, if a guy looks at you and sees the right thing, he is going to probably give you a chance no matter what came out of your mouth just now. Like, you could say some tragic stuff and he'll be like, oh, okay, and still give you a chance,
Yeah, let me
because you're
try.
hot.
Yeah, let me try this one more time. What you say?
Yeah, right. Maybe
Yeah.
she changed. Maybe she changed, right?
Damn it.
So, like,
We got a
damn, girl.
contribution to the channel. Shout out to Vonda. She has made Sheed sing. So Sheed, you know what to do. Hit it. Thank you so much.
Hmm. Hey, if she was smart, she would just marry one of them old men. I'm just saying. It,
Tragic.
it, it, hey, listen, she got it
He
tight.
ain't got
But
long. He's 70. He ain't got long.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like a practice husband.
Right, one foot on the grave, the other one on the banana peel. He's slipping.
Right.
Slipping into darkness.
Well, the likelihood is, right? I mean, let's be real. How many men want to would want to marry a woman who's 38 years old? Forget her history and everything. Who's 38 years old, who has a kid, and she don't want any kids from you. So that means that in your household, it's only going to be her kid, and all of your resources are going to be going to protecting this woman and someone else's kid. Like, the reality is, right? Is that you're probably looking for someone who's older and has already had their
Had their
kids,
children. Yeah.
Yep.
right? Don't
Right.
want any
Yep.
more, right? So,
She even
someone,
said that she just based by the ages that of the guys that she said she was dating in their 50s and their 60s and their 70s. They
mhm,
guarantee. I don't think there's too many 50-year-old guys right now around the mouth saying I want to have a kid right now.
right, exactly, right. So I'm like, hey, she's already got a bunch lined up. Like, which one
Mm,
treats you best? You know?
right.
Okay.
Which
See
one
if he
got
has a
that?
brother.
Which one got that AARP plan already chalked up, say ready to go?
Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Nice pension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been worked at the post office. He done retired. He ain't got no job. Pick him up,
Right.
pick her up and drop off at the grocery store. Pick up the kid from
Hmm.
school.
Hmm.
Bring me
Right?
some
She's kind of
McDonald's in
like
the
in grandma
afternoon.
mode. Yeah. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You
Yep.
give your kid a grandpa, you still be a strong male role model.
Yep. They run around calling him Big Pappy.
Exactly. Listen, I'm just saying. I know it's a little funny, but I'm being serious. Like, dude, you got to look at who you are and what you're about, and then how that drives with the rest of the world, right?
Yep.
I mean, the reality is, even like them old guys, they don't care about. I'm gonna, from what I've seen, they don't care about your history. They don't even care about your current. You could currently be a prostitute. You could be currently be a lot of things, because you know what? They're too old to care about that stuff now. They already
As
lived
long
their
as it's
lives,
breathing and it smell good.
right, and look good. They're, hey, you know what I
That's
mean?
right.
She thin. She probably got some booty on her. She probably cleans up
Hmm.
nice with some makeup and ting and ting. You know? Hey, listen,
Savage.
I'm just saying. You gotta, again, use your strengths, right? It doesn't look like she is. I mean, honestly, okay, honestly, I don't think she has any business being in any form of relationship. She clearly needs some therapy. Um, but if she's gonna insist on jumping into one, right? Then she definitely shouldn't be in a love type relationship. She shouldn't, right? Because that's not what
Hmm.
she's looking for. And I'm not even sure she connects to
I don't even
anyone.
I don't think she's ever been in love.
Mm,
She doesn't know what love is. She's not been in love.
Yeah, she said she never had was never in a relationship before.
right.
So I don't know what's up with the guy with the ring, but that's what she said. She
Right. I
never
was
had a
about to say
relationship.
again. What? How did somebody? What? He just woke up one day and said, "I met you, and tomorrow I'm going to propose to you." There was no relationship in between the ring and the question.
I think actually what she's talking about is being connected to someone. I think that's
Yeah.
what she meant, but yeah, you've never been connected with anyone.
Mm,
Poor thing. Because she said she gave the ring back because she didn't want to appear to be a gold digger. So yeah.
see.
Girl, 18-year-old ain't got no gold. They barely got dust at
Dust.
18, 19 years old.
Similac.
Yeah, that's powdered milk. It was
Right.
no gold over there to dig for.
uh,
Mhm.
Well, but I do wish her good luck in all her endeavors. But I don't think she should be going up on any on any of these hook me up, fix me up shows for a minute until she clear up all that other stuff she put out there.
and that's going to take a
Yeah.
while. That's
Yeah.
not one session and a month or whatever. That's going to take a long time because those therapist sessions, they cutting down them hours. It's no longer, they used to call it an hour, but I think it was only 45 minutes or 50 minutes. And then they cut down to 45. Then they cut down to 40 minutes. I mean, everybody in healthcare trying to find a way to get paid for that hour, fill out the paperwork, and move on to the next person. So,
Yep, and an hour means an hour, 60 minutes. That includes your paperwork. So
exactly.
get
So,
it filled out.
with those 40-minute sessions, she's going to need it for a couple of years because it takes a while to uncover some things. It really do. It doesn't come out all just two, three, four conversations. And it just think about what you find on YouTube. They've been talking for years and still haven't figured anything out.
All right. Hey, Lady Neek, how you doing?
Hey, Neek.
Lady Neek in the house.
Yeah, but yeah, she has a long road to recovery, and in order for her to, I guess, find the right dude, she has a whole lot of things about herself she needs to clean up first. A whole lot of things. But you gotta. I sympathize with her a little bit, but then again, you put yourself out there like that, so you led with the worst, not the best.
Yeah. And like I said, you never know all of a person's
Right.
background and what they've gone through. So I would never, make fun of it. But I hope she gets the help that she needs. I hope she just didn't hear that and just say, okay, pray for me. And
Right.
that's it, and move on to
See,
something else.
over here, you folks are pretty nice over here. Now, if that would have been another one of them streams over there, they still would have been tearing her apart.
Okay, because the
Mm.
cash apps be coming in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I will, like you said, I will give the host credit for that. Listen, this particular interview is going downhill fast. Let me not discredit myself or put you in a worse light than you're already in. So you need to go get some help, sweetie. Not trying to dog you or nothing, but yeah, maybe you need to step away from the dating pool for a minute and work on you.
Exactly. I
Well,
loved it.
it's almost like she needed someone to talk to because I mean, at one point when she was talking to Kendra, she was like, I just kind of want some advice, you know. Um, and for her, she needs to actually like get her life together. You've done all this training, you've done all this schooling. You need to work at one of these crafts that you acquired. You need to work at it.
Hmm.
And you need to cut the sugar daddies off, if you are trying to find yourself a decent, upstanding guy, not unless you're just going to go with one of the sugar daddies, you know? But from what she's saying, they're not trying to be with her like that.
Would you? Simple and real with you. No, not me. Mm-mm. No, I know what you want from me.
Well, like I said, see if they got a brother. Ruby,
Child.
you
You
have
know,
anything to add before we end?
yeah, I'll just say, the guys aren't looking to be with her like that because she's not really looking to be with them like that either. Like, as in, she, we always say like water seeks its own level. And,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, she's finding people who are at her level. And her level is I cannot emotionally and mentally connect to people like that, right? Because of my own personal
Okay.
damage. And so I'm attracting people who are looking for that in a woman because they also can't give that, right? And so, she's really got to look at the fact that women are very reactive in relationships, but so are men. um and so, you're not going to inspire the provider and protector in a man if you aren't, also wanting to emotionally, mentally provide, nurture, protect him. And so, yeah, of course, these might be guys that are totally down to be about that, but it has to be reciprocated. You could see it in someone's eyes, you could see in the way they touch you, in the way they speak to you and about you and whatever. So, if she, whatever she wants from men, she's first got to learn how to be able to give that to herself, and then be able to feel and see that and give that to others if she wants to have someone who's going to give it to her. You know what I mean? So that is just my final thought on it.
Okay.
Mm,
For next week, I know Pastor Willie, she says she wanted to give her sermon, so she's going to give her part two. So I'll
mm,
let her have
Okay.
the first 30 minutes or however long it take her to wrap up. And then maybe we'll look into a guy
mm.
next week and see what he has to say and, you know, give a little feedback on that.
The
Yeah.
guys are very
Uh-oh.
colorful. I'm looking forward to that.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. This was sent by Celine. She suggested this one. And
Mm.
so I went on and did that one tonight. And there was one, I seen the title of it, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. And I'm going to check to see if that's what I'll pull for next week. We'll see.
Okay. Okay then. Yes, I am looking forward to this. I don't think we've done a guy in a while. It's gonna be interesting. All right.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah.
All right. Our first guy of 2022. Let's eviscerate him. I mean, give
See there?
fair, honest
Oh,
feedback.
Mm-mm, no.
I agree,
Uh-oh.
Ruby. I
Right?
agree.
Mm. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna take this clip over here that y'all have, and I'm gonna take over, and I'm gonna eviscerate the shit out of her.
Mhm.
No,
Oh,
Bring it
I'm gonna,
on.
oh, don't be like
I'm just
that.
gonna, I'm gonna mail it to one of those dudes over there in the manosphere and let them. Y'all talk about this.
Mm, mm.
No,
Oh no, we'll never live it down.
no,
Okay.
they're gonna be. Some of them fools will be DMing her.
be
So
be
whatever.
11-hour stream. I'll be 11-hour stream going on about her.
I know. At least one of them helped pay off her law degree. Let's be real. So,
Hit that link. Appreciate
mhm.
you.
Need
Oh
50
no.
more.
Right.
We got a contribution on the way out from Lady Neat. She has made She'd sing. So she is 3 times tonight. Hit it. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hope you had a great time. Thank you for your likes, shares, all of that because it helps the channel. And I wasn't joking when I said I thought about going in a different direction. So I'm gonna check out the shade room and
Mm.
see what it's about, and I'll get back to you and let you know my thoughts. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty.
Mm.
I'll do a little digging and see because I was thinking. Remember, I said I had found my dream book and I was thinking about that.
Mhm.
And then people used to enjoy my office tales, and that would be a little bit more private. I'm like, wow, I might can do it there. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Mm. Okay. Ooh,
All
some
righty.
interesting stuff for 2022. Okay,
Yeah, we will see.
then. Mhm.
All right. So you guys take care. Thank you again for supporting the show. Hope to see you next week, and also hope to see you tomorrow because we do have article reaction. So y'all always look forward to those Kens and Karens. They be off the hook. They be off the
Mhm.
chain.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
definitely
ma'am.
tune in for that. That will be 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let me see, I can play a commercial on the way out. I gotta find it,
Mm.
but yeah, I can do that. Cause you act like you forget who that is, but let me
Mhm.
remind you. So you guys stay safe, and until then, peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Peace out, family.
We out here.
I said I was looking. I'm still looking.
It's been a while.
Yeah, this ain't the one. Keep the beat. No. Where's article reaction? It's just hiding from me.
Oh boy, it's been a while. Your
It's
commercial
right
game
there
needs some
in
work.
plain sight.
Mhm.
Okay, let me try this one. I don't know. Because this doesn't have our it has our picture on it. I'll use this one. Let me see. Classic R&B Jams Radio. Is this it? I don't know. Let me hit it and see.
Alrighty then, folks. It's your nighttime. It's your right time DJ. Come on, all you smooth, mellow fellows and you hip, laid-back ladies. Join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. for the Blue Lights in the Basement House Party Jams. That's right, brought to you by the Facebook group, The Basement. Each and every week, Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. Blue Lights in the Basement, bringing you hit music from the decades, folks. That's right, a little 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little something from today. Blue Hey, folks, it's your nighttime. It's your right time DJ. DJ Music. Make sure you join Char Willie each and every Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, for article reaction, right here on your local YouTube channel. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to Article Reaction.